Okay, welcome to the Dugout. And as they say, na, certain things just fall into my lap knowing how fully they behave. Gulati, you may not be aware of it, but I am the perennial fan basher when it comes to sports today. Fan behavior, fan this thing. And that is why today.
You bash the Sports Today fans.
No, I bash the fans. Fans of Indian cricket.
Say, when it comes to Sports Today, I am a fan. You don't ever say anything to our subscribers.
Most family members.
Most of the 538k followers must have listened to it.
They should.
You need to make the necessary correction now.
I mean, Indian cricket fans doing Indian cricket thing fans, when you look at it. They don't spare any country wherever they go. And today, because of that, genuine fans of the game will not see Indian cricket team practice anymore. As I said, another addition into my volume.
No, is it Vishy being Vishy or fans being fans?
Fans mean fans.
What has happened? I don't know. For those of us who didn't start their day at 11 a.m. like you and started jotting down scripts and putting videos out, please explain to those people who are late risers, who are busy reading other stories like what is happening Khapla in media, like me.
Oh, yes.
So, for me, the day was bad, na? I didn't have time. Tell me, what has happened?
So, what has happened?
What is the core reason behind you being so upset to begin with? Usually when we start, we start slow, but today we started with a bang, with Vishy starting with anger against fans.
So, what has happened today is when we were there, when both the days of the practice session were happening in the ping ball test match, fans were allowed to view the Indian cricket team practice.
One day only.
Yeah, which was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Yes, they were there at the chapel stands. They were vehemently cheering the Indian team on. And KL Rahul in the press conference acknowledged that it was something very different. Like, we didn't anticipate that this was going to happen. But now you are not going to see fans anymore attend the BGT practice sessions of the Indian cricket team, because the Indian cricket team management has complained to Cricket Australia that there were a lot of distractions and noise been made, and there were fans heckling the players. Oh, why don't you hit a 4 every time? Why don't you hit a 6 every time? They were heckling the players, and now the Indian team management has stated, we don't want the fans anymore. Everything will be closed doors. So the one rare opportunity that fans had to redeem themselves, they have bottled it up in a big way.
This is making it too much out of it. My point is, I'm as a fan, okay, practice you want to see, you get excited, kids are excited, all that. Fans want to see the match, right? They'll get to see the match. Firstly, I can't understand this massive fascination. I think more than the practice is the fascination of just seeing the players. It's that superstar thing. Yeah. Oh, I saw Virat, I saw this. That is what else are you going to achieve watching practice, right? Yeah. For a kid who's aspiring to be a cricketer, maybe he can pick up a tip or two. But nowadays you get that footage also, so you can see. So that is one thing. I mean, there are merits and demerits on both sides. Firstly, again, it was only one day that they decided to have it. So even though Indian team has given an adverse report, there was going to be no fans for second and third day. Yeah. That's the one other thing. But the only question I have from the team is that when you play a match,
when we have 70,000-80,000.
Yeah, you have control over what people are saying. People are going to be heckling you. There, one of your primary thing is to shut the outside noise and then perform. Here also, doesn't it actually add on to your practice? So if you're trying to practice against something and get better, they say now practice and match is different simply because the fan thing comes, element comes. Now, free may, you're getting that element also. The heckling is happening, screaming, shouting, everything is happening, and you're trying to practice something. So I think it's fantastic that they got the perfect simulation of what would have actually happened, but they didn't like it. But having said that, the one thing that I would say in the team's favor, two things in fact. One, that sometime in practice you're trying to achieve very specific things, and with a lot of noise around you can't achieve that. That's one. You're trying to work on one thing, conversation. Secondly, I agree that certain fans are incorrigible, they misbehave, they scream, shout, and if you're trying to achieve something, and also see, match mein they're still far behind. Only if you're fielding in the boundary line can you hear them. When you're batting, you can't that much, that closely. Here, in the practice area, because you're right there, you know, sometimes your nets are very close. So you can hear all that, that can disturb. So I can understand if they're trying to achieve, but then fans will be fans.
Fans will be fans, and the Indian cricket fan never paints himself in a positive light. Never, wherever he goes. So I'm not surprised that this has happened. Okay, it's just given me another chapter in why Indian fans really have to look themselves in the mirror.
For your book.
For my book, yes. Okay, math simulation wise, wherever India go, I mean, example MCG, if they go, 90,000 capacity or 1 lakh, 70, 80,000 will be Indian fans anyways. 20, 30,000 will be Australians. Now, my point is that statement which they made, there is too much noise and I don't want any kind of disturbance. I mean, that kind of rigged of prima donnaism.
To achieve something, no, Siddharth, at that practice. So, fans are not making it easy. And heckling, you've seen, there's no Praveen Kumar also, otherwise you would have set them straight. You know, he did that.
Exactly. I mean,
they were
there is no Inzamam ul Haq also.
Yeah, but Inzamam happened in the match. I'm talking about practice.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember, one player was troubling
Even I think
Rohit
Rohit
Sharma.
Also, yeah. Shami also gave him back, I guess, in practice in one game.
There was this one other time in England, they were playing a practice match. I think Virat
Leicestershire encounter. I mean, Virat was like telling those ones, why are you abusing that guy? From the balcony he was saying.
Some bowler was there.
Yeah.
Who was the bowler? I may be forgetting. But
was it Shardul?
May have been. No, I can't remember.
Yeah. I mean, that is the thing.
Babar Azam has been facing a lot of this nowadays.
As I said, divided by borders, but united by one irrationality, which I can't say it on air.
Okay, what is happening? I want to know what is happening in the Indian team, and you know, fans can come. Fans.
Today, KL Rahul came for the press conference, and in that, a question was asked about which position do you want to bat in.
And he said that I have been told my position for the second test in Adelaide, but I'm not going to reveal it to you.
Yeah, he just is like, I just want to be picked in the playing 11.
Yeah.
That is the way that he went about saying, because one performance or one bad performance is enough for KL Rahul to be dropped. He's on that big of a samurai knife edge.
That's something at least we three agree upon. The fourth person who is not here, he thinks otherwise.
Well, he has to now recalibrate his thinking in that sense. So that is one thing.
It doesn't matter who thinks what. What he's stating is a factual thing.
Yep.
Whether it's right or wrong is where we can differ.
Yeah.
You know, that he should be dropped or not dropped. But you can't change facts. In the case that he gets dropped, he's the first one to be dropped.
Yes.
That's factual.
And
so nobody can disagree.
He's also stated that he was comfortable opening. He was told much before in advance that he is opening. So he got time to adjust to that. Then he spoke about his partnership with Yashasvi Jaiswal, how it was, and all the other things.
Why is your title saying that mind games? Who's playing mind games from India?
I have a feeling that, you know, KL Rahul's statement, it may have been a banter with the media persons that I'm not going to reveal it to you what my playing position is going to be. But I feel that if I have to read in between the lines, I think you're keeping Australia guessing. Australia would definitely be in two thoughts whether KL Rahul would open or whether Rohit Sharma will open with Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Not really.
I think it is, in a way, I feel that you are keeping the mind games going.
Where has the Indian cricket team ever revealed a playing 11? 2 days prior to
But they have revealed they are playing 12 in the 2018-19 BGT.
Of course, 18-19 was different, but this is 5 years later in a different regime, different approach.
They could very well reveal their 11 or 12 even a day before the game.
Tomorrow.
And just to let you know, I think KL also mentioned there that you will get to know on the day of the match or maybe a day before the match when the captain comes. All he is saying that he has been asked not to communicate. Captain has very well the right to come and say whatever he wants. So maybe a day before also you can communicate. And I can't understand how is it mind games. Everyone on this planet knows. I hope you guys also know. Do you know who is going to open in Adelaide? Everybody knows it will be Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul.
And Rohit Sharma.
And you still have a doubt that KL and Jaiswal are not opening. I will not be as foolhardy as Shashwat and promise to shave my hair off. but I will,
Bet your bottom dollar.
no, I will not have my cup of evening coffee, which you know is very dear to me. That is the most important thing. But again, as I'm saying, I can't believe anyone is still confused about who the opener is. I can write it now that it is going to be Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul opening. The smile on KL Rahul's face said it all. The fact that Rohit Sharma in that practice match batted lower down the order.
Yeah.
The fact that 2018 BGT,
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma was batting
At number 6.
at number 5, 6.
Number 5, 6.
The fact that KL Rahul is looking the best against the moving ball, and believe you me, in this pink ball game also you will see the ball moving. The fact that it will be an advantage for India to have, not a disadvantage, advantage for India to have Rohit Sharma batting in the middle order and KL Rahul opening. All things point in one direction. I don't think even Australia would be second guessing. Everyone, and I'm sure the people who are watching us also, 9 out of 10 know this now after whatever you've seen in the practice sessions, in the warm-up game, in what they are approaching, in the smile that KL Rahul afforded during a press conference, which is also a rare sight. It is KL Rahul who's going to be opening come
Adelaide, 6th.
No, but just because KL Rahul had a smile on his face, it doesn't mean that he's going to open in Adelaide.
Okay.
No, that's the point.
we will see.
You're going to.
See, I'm going to ask this question to you. And
What tells you that Rohit Sharma is opening?
Yeah.
I'm not saying, see again, I'm not saying what you want to see. Of course, you have made it very clear that you would want Rohit to, and you've given valid reasons, fair enough. Just as I may have given valid reasons why KL. So I'm not getting into that because, as I said, opinions can change. I want to know from you, what makes you so certain that it will be Rohit Sharma that will open?
I think just one thing. I'm not going to read much into the practice game that you had against Prime Minister's 11. It doesn't
That's okay.
matter Rohit Sharma batted
that
at...
is eliminating the fact that KL. What is making you so sure that Rohit is open?
Just one thing that I asked you yesterday itself, and I'm going to ask Siddharth today, that had Rohit Sharma been available for the Perth test, who would have opened for India?
Obviously, Yashasvi and Rohit.
It's as simple as that. You are not going to
So,
change it for
even
the second test.
Even I am saying that it would have been. That is, had Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma
KL
been
Rahul-
available for the Perth test match, KL Rahul wouldn't have played.
Yeah.
So, it is not what I agree with you. I am also in agreement with you that if Rohit was there, 100% he would have opened and Yashasvi would have opened, and you would have had Gill at 3 and Virat at 4 and so on and so forth, and you went with all-rounders and all of that would have continued. Maybe you would have played KL or Jurel, one of them, but since Jurel was looking so good and KL is such an easy one to ignore anyway, he would have sat out. So had Rohit been available, so KL wouldn't have played only. It's not what happened there. It is what happened now. Had India not lost that test match to New Zealand, the first test match, KL would have played all the 3 test matches.
Yes.
But they lost. So KL was dropped after the first test match, did not play the next 2 test match, which also India lost. So it all changes. It's not that it's not happened before. And my point is this, I reiterate what I discussed yesterday, which why I'm saying that it's almost done and dusted, is that for everyone else you make these horses for courses, situational thing, pitch conditions, opposition strength, you take all this and you say we keep our squad fluid and we look at these things and then take a decision. You say that, right? You did that for Harshit Rana and you dropped an AajTak, you played Harshit, you got a Washington, dropped your regular spinners. You've done that. You got a Nitish Reddy, to play and not a regular batter in Sarfaraz. Why? Because you thought in those conditions in Perth, all this A, B, C, D, E will work. And so you did it. So when you can do it for everyone else, why can't you then have the same logic? Then it was that KL Rahul who was good against the moving ball in Perth. So might as well utilize that and be flexible. If you are flexible for everything, then why aren't we flexible? I have a feeling that, again, I said it yesterday, that Rohit will play the leader. He will do what Saurav Ganguly would do. Shuffle batting orders in one-day cricket. He did it. By the way, in test matches also he did it.
Yeah.
It was
South Africa?
No, in Melbourne, I think that game before the Sydney game where Sachin got the double 100, they played Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah.
He
I
batted
think-
at number 4 in the second innings.
Yeah,
Ganguly.
he batted,
Yes.
correct. So,
The same match, Sehwag 195.
195.
yes,
yes,
195
yes, yes.
Sehwag, correct. So, so you see the situation, you move up and down. And Rohit in his test career, by the way, one day though from 2013 onwards he continued.
open, yeah.
In test career, it's been last
18
4-5 years that he's been opening 18.
yeah.
That South Africa series. Before that, though, middle order.
Yeah.
Though I agree that KL has also been every order.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you going to risk demoting someone who's not been in that position for 6 years?
That is also one of the
Rohit
perspectives.
has not
But
batted
I'm
at,
not looking at it as a demotion, Siddharth. Why are you looking at it as a demotion?
not a demotion.
I am looking at it as a risk, not a demotion at all. Like, at least I am not looking at it as a demotion, because I feel that no matter how good of a record that Rohit Sharma has at number 6, has an average of close to 50 at that position, he is your designated opener, has been there for the last 5 years or so. If you want to make any change, let's just maybe wait for another couple of matches or the end of BGT, and then you see whether you want to make any changes or not. Because any which ways, just because KL Rahul has batted well in one test as an opener, it doesn't mean that you would want to continue with him. It does make sense to continue with him.
But why is it then when KL Rahul does not bat well in one test match, you drop him?
There is a fickle
That
nature.
is something that the management has to
get
answer.
that, you should get the benefit also.
Look, that is something that the
If one
management
test
has
match
to answer.
gets him out of the team, maybe one good test match will get him to continue.
Continue.
To open.
My point is
The
that
fickle nature.
Okay.
Look at it. 7 months ago, Rohit was your best test opener. In that England
Yeah, yeah,
series,
he was.
fantastic, 200s. 5 test matches later, suddenly you're going to move him to number 5 or 6. Okay? Why do you want to give someone who you have just gotten him used to, throwing him around here and there, isn't he the likelier bet to go down to number 6?
Rahul,
What did Gautam Gambhir say about KL Rahul before the series? That seldom it happens that you get any batter who is versatile enough to bat at any position in Test cricket. Now he has batted as an opener in Perth, was India's best batter hands down, scored 100 odd runs.
Gautam Gambhir also said that in the New Zealand series we will give KL Rahul a long rope.
Longer rope. What happened to that longer rope? It was a thread.
So if you're not
The other guy scored 150. You cannot ignore him.
I'm
It's
not
as simple
saying
as that.
My point was this. See, this is what I'm saying. When you're saying that you won, anything that is said is not cast in stone. And I'm not blaming them. Just as he had said, longer rope, that longer rope finished in one match only. Same way he said, he can bat anywhere. Maybe he'll continue to bat at opening position. My point is, it's again, you guys are looking at, because you're using the word demotion. Oh, Rohit ko demote kar diya. Arey, KL ko ek match mein why you? I'm not looking at it like that. I'm purely looking at it like each of these personnel is a resource. I am the shift in charge. I have a factory to run. I have these 11 resources. Now, in that shift of 8 hours, where I am the shift in charge of that factory, I have to get the best out. So, right now, this person is doing very well in this part of the production, the other is doing in this part, the other is doing this. So, I am optimizing while their positions may be different, manning different machines at different time, but lately I have seen that if I change a few things around, I'm getting an optimum result, and I need it for this thing. Okay, I will try it for today because I need a result, or I need certain products to be made in that much time. If it is not, I can always go back and say, no boss, this didn't work. You go back to where you were standing and the machines that you've been handling. Why I'm saying that is because right now against the moving ball, KL looked good and he's showing that form. I will use that form for him to utilize in this match. Rohit Sharma, he's just come off, has not had a great form, so leading up, so could be a bit tentative. So why not I ease him in batting at number 5? Maybe he comes in, the ball's got slightly older, the swing's really gone out, and I said it yesterday, khadka he plays like Adam Gilchrist style. Yes. Gets some runs, batting also somewhere there, that position, gets that confidence. Then in the future, if I'm looking at next test match, then I know, okay, Rohit's also struck form, batting there. Who knows, KL, by that time, if he's failed, then it becomes easy. He goes out, Rohit anyway goes to open. But let's say KL has got runs with Yashasvi. I say, okay, great, 2 test matches, both have got runs. Let me continue with them. And maybe I'll find a place now for Rohit. This worked for us. So again, no, there are a lot of things. It's like I'm going back to the Champions Trophy, India, Pakistan. I think, every side is stuck. But we will only eventually know when there's an official announcement. There will be to's and fro's. I'm getting my piece of the thing. But a lot of problems get sorted on their own. By the time it arrives, it just gets. So I'm saying you think about it. Right now, focus. Listen, I have to go 2-0 up because from there I'm in a strong position. Right now, these two did the job for me. Looking good. I think they'll do the job for me now also. Go open. Rohit, you come here, ease you in. You also get into the rhythm. Go forward. Get more runs. Win the match. My focus is that. There's no ego there. There is no thinking, how dare you. He's the captain. He's the best batter that was there for the last 3 years in test match cricket. How can it? I agree all of that. But if it's helping everyone, and that's why I'm saying there's a reason I'm giving up, because I see enough signs of Rohit doing that for the sake of the team. He's going to make that sacrifice. He's going to bat in the middle order.
Well, let's hope so, because in the case of KL Rahul, whatever is said, it's never cast in stone. It's just on the beach sand, which gets washed away in a wave.
That's very interesting. If you see that last line, you see those bullet pointers.
Yeah.
What is the last one?
Rohit's turn to lead from the middle.
Yeah.
See,
it can happen. I mean,
no, not that that's the gospel truth. I'm not saying that. But whatever I'm seeing, I'm reading. I heard that press conference again, and it just indicated to me that it is KL who's been told that he's going to open. Then I looked at the practice session. Again, it's not 100% that same way that it happens. But Rohit came out yesterday, came early to bat because he and Pant, not that they all reached together and so he started the batting, because he and Pant reached an hour before the rest of the team. They came in a car. So they reached early, so they started the batting. But when you start having these pairs, they start batting. Then it was Yashasvi and KL that were batting together.
Yes.
So I think that's what it is. The other third left side selection is that we keep arguing, and that KL and Yashasvi open, or Rohit and Yashasvi open, and KL comes at 3.
Yeah.
That's the other possibility. But I cannot see KL going into the middle order. I am seeing him with the way he's been batting. Then you are going to that selection where you're getting a Shubman to come lower, or even keeping Shubman out as Harbhajan. I don't know about that. But I cannot see the indications I'm going with what KL said and how he's been batting, that he's definitely batting in the top order. Whether you can fit both Rohit and KL in the top order, then that's another thing, which I don't know. But I do not see KL coming in the middle order. Not happening. Based on what I'm reading.
But Harbhajan has also said one more thing about his former CSK teammate. Yellow.
Yeah.
I don't speak with him.
With
MS Dhoni.
MS Dhoni.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken for a decade.
Yeah.
So I just want to know what is the big reveal in that. I just want to know. Like Harbhajan saying he's not spoken to MS on the phone. I think he said that when we meet is on the phone. Yeah, but
MS rarely speaks on the phone.
Who would be that cricketer who will say that he has been speaking to MS on the phone? Is there anyone who has
Chinnathala?
I don't think so.
RP Singh.
I don't
RP
think
Singh.
so.
No.
I don't think so.
None.
I don't think
To a certain extent, Virat Kohli.
I don't know how often that also happens. See, no, not me either.
He doesn't pick
I'm
up.
not in that league of the what is that? Top gentlemen.
Legends.
League of Legends.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'm only a journalist. I only know these people as a person who covered and travelled with them.
Because why I said Virat is, once when he had to talk about his lean patch, the one who helped him was MS Dhoni.
Yeah, once in a while he may have called, and Harbhajan hasn't spoken. And that's also, also in a lot of cricketing circles, only when you retire, only I think the best friends kind of, there'll always be these cliques, and you only speak to those, and rest of them you meet once in a while and you interact. So that, plus I think MS as a person is very reclusive, as you know. He stays by himself, doesn't answer his phone call. There were stories when there were emergency where I believe his better half was trying to get in touch with him. She could not get to his phone and she had to call some other friend to go in. So if it can be that much, if the wife can't get in touch with you on the phone, then what are the chances that an ex-teammate of anybody? So he just does not, he's not a phone person as such, who talks on the phone. I don't think he's a person who's on WhatsApp either.
media, yeah.
He likes to do his organic farming. He likes to do, but I'll tell you, I honestly love the lifestyle that he's living. I had the chance to go and meet him about 18 or, I had coffee. He's a tea person, but for me he had coffee. I also had coffee. Both of us had coffee. But I just met him and in his own environment, which is Ranchi, and I loved his lifestyle. He's so nonchalant, so casual. Nothing fancy. We'll just go to the club. So the club he goes to is also in the stadium only. Those tennis visuals that you see him playing is all there only. Okay. So they have a, like you go to Karnataka State Cricket Association, they have other things also. Or you go to CCI in Mumbai, they will have. So like Ranchi also now, they are very fancy. They have a nice cafe. Members come. There's a nice gym that he attends there. He plays his cricket there. Then he plays tennis.
Tennis is hard or clay court?
No, synthetic court.
Synthetic, okay.
Then the badminton. So that's like a club sporting, gymkhana type, if I can say. Something like that. So that's where he goes. Simple life, just goes there, stays in his house mostly, does farming and goes to the evening.
Enjoys strawberries.
Just like, but the beauty is like there is no, it's like how regular, let's say you are a government servant.
Yeah.
And you retire. Won't your life be exactly like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
You will go to the club in the evening at Jobi something, your gymkhana or whatever. Or you do your basic thing with family at home. And he lives a simple life. He's not a phone person as such.
He's not
That's
a social
okay.
media guy also.
Yeah, he's not a social media guy. I'm sure he sees reels. He said in an interview recently that he sees reels. So they asked him that, do you see your own reels? He says, yeah, but I feel embarrassed. So whenever my reels come, I just move it fast. I don't want to see it. He sees more on bikes.
He's a bike guy.
He sees a lot of bike reels and so. And he said the only problem I have is when I see bike reels, why do people put that soundtrack? Like why can't you leave the ambience sound? If you're putting a clip of your biking or whatever, just leave that. Why are you putting music?
Trending, you put trending music.
All that. So he said, I don't like. So I would, he sees reels, don't think he does not. He may not be writing on it. I'm not saying it, he said it in his
But he doesn't call Harbhajan Singh.
No, he doesn't call anybody for that matter. He's a very private person. He likes to be like that. As I said, he just, is happy with this very limited thing. And I know he has fancy bikes and fancy cars, but at the core of it, he is a very desi army who wants to be away from all of Kisan time. He used to, when he was in Delhi, I know, when he was playing also, like he would be staying in a 5-star hotel here. In the night, he'd feel like having tea. So he'd call a friend and he'd go in the car to one of those roadside tea stalls in the night. And he'll keep sitting in the car and tell the friend to get the tea so he could have roadside tea and he'll just have in the car sitting during the night and then be dropped back. That's all. He's not going to be
away from the spotlight.
Fancy restaurants. He's just like.
He and his family was in Uttarakhand and they forgot what is the right path to go to his house or somewhere. And then he said, "ठीक है, रास्ता वास्ता देखते रहेंगे, चाय पी लेते हैं."
Acha, I don't know. Must have been. I didn't see that reel.
I have no clue about that reel.
I don't know.
Family getting lost.
The latest was him doing. I went to a wedding in Haridwar, and he's dancing to. Haridwar Rishikesh. Yeah. He's dancing to a Pahadi song.
Okay.
And a wedding. So went to a Pahadi wedding. He's a Pahadi, you know that, right? He's a Kumaoni.
Yes, Kumaoni.
Yeah. From Ranchi.
Ranchi, yes.
Born and brought up there, but he's from the hills.
DHONI.
Yes. Yeah, he doesn't see videos on Sports Today.
No, I don't see reels.
He's only watching chess, or full day he's just watching chess.
Yeah.
What is happening with Gukesh, listening to that.
Indeed. Well, got to do that because along with the Indian cricket team, something spectacular could happen after the end of the second test.
Oh
match.
yes, 14 December is the date.
14 December. So India could go 2-0 up. Gukesh could very well do it. Who knows? But everything could come crashing down also in spectacular.
What's
style.
happening in the Australian camp?
Well, Nathan Lyon came for the press conference, and his major concern was, I found it very hilarious about the comments that many people have stated after just one loss that we had. Agreed, we were outplayed by India in all departments. India is a team full of superstars. It's just not about countering Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma or Jasprit Bumrah. But whatever you look at it, it's a fresh start. And he's also given an update that Mitchell Marsh is most likely fit. He will be there. But he found it very hilarious, all the vitriol that was coming Australia's way after
but
one
that
loss.
is primarily, it's one in the manner they lost, but the other is, them dropping Hazelwood and then Hazelwood saying those kind of things. That's also gone again. And that happens, no? India also lost first test matches in the last few series. What happened? Everyone pounced on them. But then they came and fought back until New Zealand happened where they did not fight back.
Yes. So that is the thing that Australia have stated, and even the Adelaide pitch curator, Damien Hoff, he also said that we are leaving only 6 millimeters of grass on the pitch, and whatever is the swing and bounce that you'll get, it will be from the overhead conditions. The pitch will be equal for batters and bowlers. And they said, was this the same pitch which you had extra layer of grass which ensured India collapsed for 36 all out? No. That was good bowling that gave them. The pitch had nothing to do in that match.
No, see, by the way, 6 mm is not just 6 mm. I think 6 mm is decent amount of grass.
Still decent thickness, yeah.
Yeah, so that will offer something to the bowlers. But I think the biggest difference this time it's going to be, it's the pink ball test match. And the ball will do much more than the red ball, as you already know. So it's going to be even if you were to try to make a flat pitch, and I know why Australia is trying to make a flat pitch, but it's the conditions that will still make it friendly for bowlers, especially fast bowlers. And that is a problem that I think Australia find themselves in. I think they've dug themselves a bit of a hole. They had planned this itinerary to almost play India out in this series, but now it's backfiring. One, because they've lost Perth, and two, because now I see, based on what I've seen on India's bowling and Australia's batting, is that India, I said it again, India needs, if you get fast bowling friendly conditions, India will win the test match.
Yeah.
And I think Australia realized that. And they will try and get flatter pitch, which is why you're hearing the Adelaide curator now say that we will have they're trying to make equal, but they're trying to make it batter friendly. Because that's their best chance to beat India. Those big scoring games, that's when I think they can beat India, because their bowlers in big scoring games also may find a way to get you out, and the batters can get back into form and dominate, as they often do in Australia. That's what has happened in the last 2 decades in Australia. This is what they would do. But now, because you gave juicy conditions thinking India would be in trouble, you were putting Australia into trouble. So they're trying to get batting conditions, but as I said, it's the hole that they were digging for the opposition. They find it that they might get trapped, because even if it's flat batting condition, the pink ball will do a lot, which will allow Indian bowlers to get into it. If it's a low scoring encounter, I think India have an amazing chance of going 2-0 up, and pink ball will then be that blessing. So the only way that Australia can now counter it is make an absolute flat batting track to ensure that the balance between bat and ball gets tilted in favor of batting. Because if it tilts in favor of batting, Australia have a chance.
It is like the 2021 Ashes match. The pitch was absolutely flat then. The bowlers had to work really, really hard for the wickets. And that's why you saw the scoring rate wasn't that much. With the new ball only, they got most of the wickets. When the old ball happened, even in twilight, even in the night time, run making became easy. I think they'll go on the 2021 pitch that they dished out against England. That was flat. Bowlers had to toil hard, and that's why Australia won it on the 5th day in the second session.
Yeah.
So, and that too, you remember Jai Richardson taking a 5-wicket haul, but then after that he couldn't continue for the remainder of the series because he had a hamstring problem. That was how attritional the Adelaide pitch was. So, if Australia had to get back into form, they need that kind of a wicket. If it's that 2015 one or the 2021, they are in huge trouble. By the way, their averages in this WTC cycle alone has been under 30. combined, you look at everything. I think there's an article also. Why 2024 is the horrible year for Australian batters in this WTC cycle? Because 29 is the highest. Only West Indies and Bangladesh are below them.
So that's exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Which, see, again, we keep arguing about Indian batters when the test matches are here. When you prepare those gaddas, what do you say that, listen, your batters are out of form. Why do you want to do this? Prepare some good batting pitches. Get your batters back into form. Once they get back into form, you will win test matches. So, Australia also is making the same mistake India. They tried to intimidate the Indian batting, thinking that they are coming off a poor series versus New Zealand. But what they ended up doing was, again, trouble their own batters who are still woefully out of form. Which is why I'm saying, from Australia's point of view, prepare good batting surfaces, get your batting into form, because their bowlers, even on flat conditions, may find a way or two to get wickets.
Yeah.
Indian bowlers, you give them conditions, then your batting is out of form, they'll get into play. See, Indian bowlers in a flat pitch, is Harshit Rana going to be that scary for Australia? I don't think so on a flatter pitch.
Yeah.
There's only that one threat in Jasprit Bumrah. But in Bumrah's case, he's not the bowler who will do multiple long spells, who will keep bowling again and again. He's a short burst bowler. So if you play him out in your first two spells, 5 over spells that he does too, if you play him out and then it is a long day, then India doesn't have answer. Then they will have to go back to their spinners to do the job for you. That's what is the one way that Australia then catches hold of the series. But they are not. They are just making the same mistake India would do. But I think they are realizing, which is why you're hearing now in Adelaide flat track. But again, the problem is track to flat they'll make.
But all
Ball
the
ka
other
kya karenge?
the opposition batters can also come back into form now, whatever were the loose ends that were there. So that's the catch-22 that Australia are facing at this point. Which is why Nathan Lyon is trying to put on a brave face, saying, all this doesn't bother us. We are just having a fresh start as it is. But I think they're rattled.
But if that's really the case, that it's not really going to be much help for the bowlers. Assuming that you're not going to be bowling in those light conditions, the night conditions in fact, would you see Ashwin becoming a part of India's 11 for this match? I think that's probably going to happen. I have a very strong feeling that India will go in with 2 spinners and 3 seamers.
No, I agree, but those 2 spinners could be a Washi
and Ashwin.
and a Jadeja. See, okay. I would also like to see an Ashwin, but again, if I'm reading a lot into KL Rahul being a top order batter, I'll change it from opener to top order because I can't be 100% sure, but I know that he's batting in the top order. Then what I'm reading is Ashwin's not really been that active in training sessions or the practice match or something. I hope that he's in their scheme of things. I hope they've not looked beyond him with a Washington Sundar coming, because I don't think that's ideal. If you are going to get flat tracks, I think you will need Ashwin. That's what I'm saying. If Australia start moving towards that kind of pitches, which is going to help them, then you will need an Ashwin and an informed Ashwin, because in those flat tracks, he knows how to get you wickets, how to trap batters out. So you'll have to look at. I'd be okay with Ashwin and Jadeja playing, but I'm just again going by the signs.
Yeah.
That is suggesting it could be Washi.
And I think if it's a flat deck
pitch in 2020-21, you did play 2 spinners.
True.
So that's why maybe in this...
You're talking about the Adelaide test.
Yeah.
No, in Adelaide test you played with 4 bowlers. You had Shami, Umesh, Bumrah and Ashwin. Yeah. Jadeja was injured.
Okay.
Jadeja came into the 11 from the Melbourne test for that matter. I think if it is really going to be a flat track and obviously Indians are going to have a look at the pitch, then having Akashdeep over Harshit Rana would make sense.
No, Akashdeep 100%.
Yeah.
Eyes closed 100%. Why pink ball? I know that people will now talk about that ramp shot. What is that in the practice?
Yeah, Sam Constas.
But what is that ramp shot?
Whatever
you can
ramp shot,
scoop or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
After that shot, people are saying, "Arey Akash, boss, if there is going to be lateral movement as the pink ball does, it swings also more than the red. There's 20% more seam movement also. That is after pitching. I don't think that you have to look beyond an Akashdeep.
Plus, I think Akashdeep was bowling a lot more today. He was bowling,
and he was looking quite dangerous,
yes,
by the way.
He was bowling stump to Kohli, troubling him. Also, I think he bowled to other batters also. So
yes,
I think Akashdeep is a natural selection when you look at it, because I would prefer Harshit on hit the deck bowl pitches.
Yeah.
For Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane, for example, Melbourne also for that matter. Akashdeep is a perfect fit for Adelaide. Night conditions, twilight, swing.
Workhorse too.
Workhorse too, yeah. Or is he? Or I think he's also short 6-7 over bursts, because you have 3.
No,
That's still an extended spell.
He can give you those slightly longer spells. I think he can. Again, it's with Harshit also. It wasn't that he was really cranking it up.
Yeah.
He's also late
80,
130s.
Yeah, 80, 85 ish in that
So
range.
yeah, if you again, why I'm saying about that bowling also, Harshit did not, scare a batter or got him out. There was no dismissal, as I say, oh, balls coming, takes an edge, got first slip, second slip. None of that happened with Harshit also. So if you really need, most of the Indian wickets came with good. One thing, by the way, you have to do in pink ball, which I hope the Indian bowlers make that adjustment, because I think they were guilty of it last time, was not bowl the same lengths that you bowl in rest of the Australian pitches, because there you keep it a bit shorter, good length. That's the area, because you get extra bounce. In pink ball, because the ball swings, you have to go back to very English-like conditions, full up. And I think that's why you see, I was looking at Mitch Stark's number.
He's got the most
pink
wickets.
ball. Why? Because again,
full.
Yeah, because in pitches where you have to go a bit, shorter, good length, he's not that kind of a bowler.
Yeah.
Wherever you have to pitch up full length deliveries, that's where he picks up wickets, which is why I'm saying you also need bowlers who will bowl full up. And even for the Indian bowlers who probably are not that kind but will be playing this test match, I think, and I'm sure the team will work on it, slight adjustment in the length for a pink ball, slightly fuller is the way to go with a pink ball. Even though it's Adelaide, and in a day test match you'd play quite differently, but as soon as the ball changes, with a pink ball a bit full up, so that will be a conscious change that the Indian bowlers will have to make, because Australia is well aware of that. They've played enough. Their pink ball experience is far ahead of an Indian team.
Never
India's
lost
played,
an Adelaide pink ball.
India's only played 4 and lost 1 to Australia and won 3 at home.
Mitchell Stark alone has played 12 pink ball matches, 66
Every
wickets.
pink ball match that he's played in, Brisbane, they have lost only 1. They have lost only 1 pink ball.
West Indies.
Yeah, that's it. Apart from that, Adelaide they have never lost. So that is the one streak that India would be hoping to end in this BGT.
And the only one India has lost is Adelaide.
Yeah.
That is the thing. If they beat Australia here, then Australia has got no streaks active in world cricket. Because Perth gone, BGT streak anyway is in a negative way when you look at it. Adelaide is the only place where they have never lost a pink ball test match. If they end that too, that's it.
Then it's not going to be Gava ka ghaman, it will be Australia ka ghaman too. Everything will be.
Everything gone. Chur. Adelaide ka akkad gaya.
Adelaide ki akkar. Oh my.
Yes, Adelaide ki akkad gayi. So that is the way. So it's not going to be easy. And I think you got the bowlers. Luckily, they don't have Hazelwood, because Hazelwood is the second in command.
They have Scotty Boland.
But again, I think after the Ashes shellacking that he got, now it's not the same Scott Boland. It's not the same
He
anymore.
was, you had your batters in 6s and 7s in the India A game.
KL Rahul.
KL Rahul. But then apart from that,
Rocking wicket.
in the 10 overs that he bowled in this warm-up game, okay, decent.
That could be one argument to have KL Rahul in the middle order. That Boland is coming.
Boland.
No,
but I
he's
think
already claimed that he's
But he
a walker.
negotiated him well in Canberra.
he did. So that's why Boland, KL Rahul of MCG is far different now in Adelaide.
Yeah.
He's not that same guy who's clouded in his judgment and everything. So give him a good run, I would say. But knowing this Indian cricket team, who's the fall guy? KL, slot gone, I go down to 6. So that is how it looks in that way.
I doubt that that's going to happen.
Hope so. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, let's go. Questions. We've got Rishabh.
I think still out of focus. And
Shivam gets too excited, like tuck. He makes it so big that just disappears.
yeah, Rishabh Genius is like saying the gap of 10 days between 2 tests have made it a 50-50 going into the match. If I have momentum, I would want second test to start ASAP. Momentum lost. That is what he said.
No, he is making a valid point. I think it's an interesting way of looking at things. But then this was set out from the very beginning, right? It didn't happen last moment. I know that sometime a big gap allows a team that's lost to regroup. It's much like, in tennis, Djokovic takes a timeout, losing, and then will take a loo break. Comes back all. Suddenly 2 sets down, you win 3 sets to 2. It allows you to regroup. And
although even Nathan Lyon also admitted, like, this is a rare thing that you got a 10-day break in the middle of a series. He did acknowledge that.
And after this, the longest break you will have between
6 days.
7 days, 6 to 7 days MCG test.
Yeah, 7 days. 7 days
Boxing.
MCG because 19th to 25 you won't have any cricket. So that sense. So momentum lost. Let's see. It's a fresh start for both the teams. So let's see what's the momentum. And
Apurva Gondalia has a feedback for us in terms of the camera exposure. Shivam, I hope you were reading this, please.
I already did. After that comment,
You fixed it. Oh, he's fixed it.
it's fixed.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully it's happened. So
Thank you, Apurva, but
thank
for your
you,
feedback.
Apurva. Yes.
You don't have to repeat what I'm saying.
Yeah. Abhishek Rawat is saying, by what time the day-night match stops? And Sirsa, please keep covering chess, which I will. Abhishek Rawat, the time is on day 1, 9 o'clock is the toss. 9:30 to 11:30
It's
is the
basically
first
the
session.
timings that you have for Indian test matches.
But wait, in some test matches I've seen, in Australia, the tea break is first.
First and then there is dinner break. Yeah.
No, that's because it's a
Day-nighter,
test. Na?
yeah.
How can they have lunch in the evening? It'll have to be tea only.
I don't know. In some tests, it was reversed. I remember in one particular test match, we thought, okay, it will be just a 20-minute break. But no, it became a 40-minute break. That's why there is some confusion over that. I think the first session will be 20 minutes.
40 minutes.
Break will be 20 minutes.
First session will be 2 hours.
Yeah. Then 11:50 to 1:50, you will have the second session.
Same timings, 9:30
Yeah.
to 5 with from 4:30 to 5 will be the extra half hour.
Extra half an hour.
Same timing as that you have in Indian test matches at
Exactly,
home. Yeah.
exactly. And then at that period, you'll have the twilight in that sense. And Android gamer. Okay.
Oh my.
Nikhil says that depth is not required in batting, but he never talks about ODI World Cup final. Shami at 6 is never going to work. The team which has quality all-rounders always wins the World Cup, whether it is Australia or India.
But Android gamer, you are talking about one-day cricket, my friend. I'm talking about test cricket. There are two completely different formats. If you have heard our analysis before, I did make this point that India won the test match in Perth, but I was not happy with the selection because they did a one-day/T20 selection, which is to have depth of batting. I agree with you that if I'm playing a one-day World Cup final or a T20 World Cup final, more so ODI because I have to bat for 50 overs, so depth sometimes is required even more so. But even in T20, when now you have IPL teams, international T20 team, where batting till 9 has become the norm, which is how it should be. I agree, because that's the nature of that format. Test cricket cannot be like that. It has to work on primary selection. You need to have 6 batters, you need to have 4 bowlers minimum, out and out. Out and out. There is only scope of having that one all-rounder. But you cannot compromise a bowler because he can bat a bait and compromise his primary skill because his secondary skill is there somewhat. That happens in white ball because you're not going to survive. Why I say that is, if you're going to take a bowler who's an inferior bowler to somebody else but gives you some batting, neither is he going to win you the match with the ball nor with that bat. If I take an out and out bowler, even though his batting is compromised, he can win me the match with the ball because he needs to have that. So you need to have, match winners all around. As many match winners who single-handedly can win you the match either with a bat or the ball. That is what you need. In white ball cricket, you need contributors. I'm sorry to use that word, bits and pieces, but you know what I'm getting at? Because those little contributions help you get a big total. Those little contributions help you contain a team in bowling and pick wickets and win you matches. So it becomes there. Here, test cricket, if I can just put it in a different way, I think white ball cricket in that way is a very team game where everyone's contribution makes a big difference. Test cricket is a team game but played in a very individualistic style. If a player just comes and gets his performance done, that's why you say one match can, one person comes, gets you 100, you're stuck, everyone else, contributes a little bit, but 100, one person wins you the game. Why you need a batter at 6-7? Because I'm not looking at 30 or 40. If my top order has gone, I'm expecting him that on a given day, he gets me 100, boss. Today I need your 100 from you, and he gets me 100, 150, wins me the match. That's what happens. So it's a complete different format that you're talking about compared to what I was saying. Depth is very much needed in ODI cricket.
Yeah. And
Priyanshu is saying many people keep making statements on MSD and Virat for making headlines, but they don't care and just love to spend time with the family.
agreed.
Why don't you add Rohit Sharma also?
Of course.
He also
Yes.
likes to spend. Interestingly, he went from Australia at the birth of his first child, isn't it?
Yeah, 2018. Yeah,
2018.
2018. Yeah,
I
he
just
missed.
realized-
He missed
can
the final
can I
test.
just realize a connection.
Yeah.
Every time India is in Australia,
Yeah.
superstars have kids.
Virat also.
No, I'm starting. No, I'm
MS.
starting. MS
MS.
Dhoni 2015. He was in Australia.
World Cup.
He had his daughter. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, first child and second child. So Australia is the place. PGT and having a child is like arrival of a child, not having, like arrival of a child. They coincide.
सबके जितने भी सुपरस्टार थे उनके क्रिकेटर्स के सबके जितने बच्चे ए से नहीं होते
A.
हार्दिक अगस्त्य
अगस्त्य, but धोनी का नहीं है. Ziva.
हाँ. So, I just gave Dhoni example.
Dhoni
Why
example.
are you eliminating it?
So, I don't know Rohit's second child's name. I think it's not been finalized.
They've kept it. Something.
Is it? Achha, it's confirmed.
Arrival of a new child and the birth of a new superstar. That's what the Australian tours are about. Mohammad Siraj,
Siraj.
2018. I think in a way Cheteshwar Pujara was always there,
Yeah.
but then he had his first major overseas performance.
2021 you mean?
Yeah.
Not 18. 18?
No, before that it was Mayank Agarwal.
Mayank Agarwal, Hanuma
Yeah,
Vihari.
Hanuma Vihari.
Yes.
there is Ahan Agastya and
Akai.
Akai and Bumrah is
That I don't know.
Angad.
Angad Bumrah. Okay.
Rahul is saying, I'm very surprised to see that Australia did not pick Constance over McSweeney.
What do you guys think? Again, it's like a rock and a hard place. Yeah, I agree. Nathan McSweeney is not an opener. He was asked to open and he was clearly out of his depth in Perth. But Constance, on the other hand, I agree. He's gotten a Sheffield Shield 100 in both innings. He got that against a particular side. But again, he's just fresh out of under 19. He was then the under 19-20. He was title winning under 19 2024 World Cup squad. Now, has any Australian batter ever been given such a bolter in the test match scenario? The last youngster who I can think of, young youngster who I think of was Michael Clark, 2004. Youngster when I have to look at it.
Will Pukowski?
Pukowski, but then, yeah, Pukowski at this point in time, he had far more injuries than runs. That was the worst part about Pukowski. So, yeah, but only one test match. That's the thing. Rajesh Singh, we are taking Australia very lightly after Perth. Mark my words, they will come wounded and can make it 3-2. What are your thoughts? Absolutely. Australia are capable of it. They never take any loss lying down, but we've already seen one Australian member give up. So, who knows what can happen? So, in that sense.
I mean, anything can happen, but I think it is also India's best chance to make it 2-0
Yes.
Yeah.
because of the pink ball. After that, I have a feeling that they will revert to flatter conditions in Gabba and MCG.
MCG. Yep. And also.
And then and Sydney. So you will have a tougher task going forward. I think pink ball helping fast bowlers, good chance for India to make it 2-0.
Yep. Sachin, why do we talk about Aussies?
Take his name properly.
Sachin Dikshit is like saying, why do we talk about Aussies ka ghamand? On Oz losing a game when we just lost the entire series with New Zealand. In Australia have been the perennial giants who always want to get slayed. We always get extra pleasure in them getting slayed.
No, but also this ghamand comes from the fact that Siddharth pointing out like Gabba was their fortress, right?
Yeah.
Before India and then West Indies beat them. Similarly, in terms of Adelaide, never lost a pink ball test. So these are records it's not so much about Australia losing at home, but these string of records that they've stitched together, which gets broken, which is a big jolt. So
Yeah.
I think it's related to
It
that.
is related to that only. Yes.
Okay, अभी saying sir मुझे एक बात बताइए बीसीसीआई आईसीसी कब राइटिंग नहीं देगा और वाराणसी स्टेडियम में इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान T20 वर्ल्ड कप 20 होगा अभी I will do a video right after the dugout with the latest update on the Champions Trophy. So do check that out for that.
Naman Kanpal. Is it curtain over for Mr. Ishwaran even before it was pulled up? Are we seeing the KL-YJ opening partnership well beyond the series as well? If they open pink ball test, any chance for AajTak? Number one, I think question number one, yes, it certainly seems to be over for Mr. Ishwaran, Abhimanyu Ishwaran. Are we seeing the KL-YJ opening partnership well beyond the series if they open in pink ball test?
No, not
Question
sure at
number
all. Not sure.
Wait for Adelaide. After it finishes, let's see.
No, you can have your so.
No, I feel that if KL Rahul does open in Adelaide, he doesn't do well, then you switch back to Rohit Sharma being your opener.
As I said,
at Brisbane.
Whatever is said about KL Rahul is on a beach sand.
But if you, I
Swept
think you
away
should
by the
maintain the consistency that was there before Perth. Have Rohit open with Jaiswal.
And Ash Jaddu, no, I think one of Ash or Jaddu might come in.
Possible.
One of Ash or Jaddu.
Okay, gentleman's name is you. He says if India bats first, should Rohit open? You say ball does more under lights, then first session will be good for batting. Good point that you is making. But also remember, it's not so much doing under the lights, it's actually the twilight where you can't see the spotting of the ball is tough, but then you can't really plan as to who comes out. I think the ball will still do a lot even if it's sunlight at that time. Now it's also predicted rain, so overhead conditions, the ball might do a lot, lateral movement. So I think still best to send a KL. Just my personal opinion on that.
We all agree on that, to use treatment.
To you.
Yes. We all agree to you.
We agree to you.
You, yes. Mayur Kashyap, what makes me think that India will lose to 1-4 series or 2-3 because of 2014? England won 3 loss after Lords. There was no way India lost 2014 England. Please comment. I mean, yes, after 2 tests you are up 1-0. You had drawn Trent Bridge, you had won at Lords. But then in spectacular fashion you lost in Southampton and it just collapsed like a house of cards. See, whenever India has won the first match of a series in Australia 2018, you went on to win the series 2-1. But then when you won in South Africa, you lost that series 2-1. Can you maintain that momentum? That is the key thing that India will have to address.
At that time, England did have a good batting, and same can be said about South Africa also in 2006. But this time, the opposition's batting is equally fragile.
Yeah. As I said, only West Indies and Bangladesh have a worse batting average than Australia in this WTC cycle.
And the only reason why I would want to have, obviously we'll have our predictions tomorrow, but then only reason why I feel that India are in an advantageous position as compared to Australia, at least your batters have got some runs.
Well, let's see. The pink ball could be that equalizer then, in that sense.
We've taken all those questions, Shivam, can we go down? Okay. Adelaide, Sudeep Adhikari says Adelaide pink ball streak on the line for Australia and India will break that to 100%. Okay, Sudeep, thanks for your comment.
That is the only streak which is alive now for Australia.
Bharat Batra says, Nikhil sir, thank you. I am Dr. Bharat Batra. Thank you sir for your kind comment, love you. He wants me to give views on Mr. Sanjay Manjrekar's commentary. Maybe another day.
Yeah.
We'll do another program on commentary only. Because today we're just limiting ourselves to BGT.
BGT, yes.
Yeah. But as I said, I mean, I really don't mind his commentary. I like the fact that he's very candid and straightforward. So that's that.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe on someday we will sit and have a detailed analysis on commentary also. It'll make for a great episode. Abhishek Padi says, the content here is very good. Please increase your production quality. We will work on that. Producer, are you listening? No, I think he means
It's production.
Autocorrect.
Yeah.
Yes. Like how for Nathan it became Nation today.
When I read that, Shivam, but obviously I thought that I was a...
Yeah.
We will work that. Now. There is nothing called prediction quality. So that's why.
Like how it happened today. Nation Lion.
Yeah.
Damn
What
you
happened?
autocorrect.
What happened?
Nathan Lion, it got autocorrected to Nation Lion. So, in that sense.
Sudeep says, because of sports today, his spoken English proficiency has really improved. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Sudeep.
great.
Yep,
Thank you. We
so
could
much.
make a, contribution to your language skills. Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Okay. Shardul Sahasrabuddhe is saying reports where Australian batters are finding a way to tackle Bumrah in yesterday's net session and at session only to tackle Boom. Is it true? But how can they find a way to tackle Bumrah? Because Bumrah doesn't bowl to them in the nets. They may try and create certain situation to tackle him, but they can't, because again, Bumrah is one of a kind. You can't even get a net bowler who will bowl like him.
Exactly.
So there's no way. I mean, that's not to say that they can't tackle him. Of course, I'm not saying that.
They would have focused on the lengths, what he's bowling and all those kind of things, and gotten a throwdown specialist to replicate that most likely. So
Yeah.
that is the way.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, one final comment. Abhishek Rawat saying, assuming Australia is winning this series, which batter will then be the hero for them?
Travis Head.
I'm going Steve Smith, because you need a Steve Smith firing for Australia to do well.
Okay.
If he doesn't, then I don't think.
+1. Steve,
Yeah.
Peter, Jawaru Smith. That's
Yeah.
the way.
Ankur wanted to know, Ashwin over
Washi?
Washi, will you go for it?
No. I think Washington.
Yes, I will go for it.
Even I'll go for it.
Yeah.
I'll go for Ashwin over Washi.
Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bowling skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm selecting a
Last
bowler
time you
first.
played a pink ball in Adelaide, he took 4 wickets.
4 wickets,
Four
yes.
wickets,
Exactly. I'm doing that.
And 3 out of the 4 test matches in the last 12 years, Ashwin's been part in Adelaide. He only missed 2014.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
In fact, Ashwin is your highest wicket taker in pink ball matches.
Yes.
18 wickets.
18. Correct.
BB Johnny says, I think Australia will come back. The silent breath of a wounded lion is more dangerous than its roar.
That's
Wow.
what India did in Perth.
And I think that's what they did even in Gaba 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the absolute final comment from our favorite I Love Mutton Biryani. He says, Michael Vaughan said that Adelaide pink ball test is biased towards other teams. Thoughts? What does that mean? What does he mean by that?
I haven't looked at the
Like
totality.
biased?
Is it biased towards the opposition? Like whoever is the opposition, Australia versus XYZ.
Against them, he would be
Yeah.
guessing. You know, because not biased in favor of them, against them, right?
Yeah,
Because
that
if in favor of them, then they would have won something. They have not won.
They haven't won. So I don't think so. I mean, it keeps.
But then it's there for everyone. The ball is the same, the conditions are the same. Australia have been playing more than others, so they get better. Doesn't stop other teams from doing that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just a constant. I mean, you got relevancy for all the 4 venues that's there. Perth is like alternating. I think Perth is not going to be a season opener. Adelaide is known for pink ball. Melbourne's known for Boxing Day. Sydney is known for New Year. So I think it gives that kind of a thing.
he means it favors Australia. Exactly what I'm saying.
yeah.
Whatever I was saying.
Like
That's what
not
I'm saying,
favorable
no.
for the opposition. Yeah, that's what
He
he
said that it
Yeah.
favors Australia, which I understand. Of course, that because the results say. But again, how does it favor? It's the same thing.
Yep. It is.
Have more. See, other countries are reluctant to have as many pink balls. Kudos to Australia that they do it. They've made it a regular feature in all their series.
Also, the timings, I think, suit them. No?
Sure, but again, like for India, the market is India only.
Yeah.
So do it at the timing. It's prime time, evening. People will watch.
Evening, yeah. That's why you had 4. West Indies, it's a nightmare because there, for the rest of the world, it will be night to morning. So for them, their night is about late morning to the rest of the world at this stage. New Zealand, surprisingly, hasn't hosted that many pink ball, although the timing for them also is very good.
Yeah, just a couple of them, na? In which one England were burned out for
2017, I
58 and all.
remember.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I don't think
Auckland.
they played any other pink ball there. Only Australia.
There was another comment about Virat Kohli not coming very often for press conferences, and he said that that's such a shame. As fans, they would want to listen to him. I agree with you. I mean, people would want to listen to someone like a Virat more often.
Yeah.
But then you can hear him at the broadcaster. He does interviews with them.
I think that usually happens with Indian, like the former Indian captains. Like you were the captain for 5-6 years, you attended the most of the press conferences. But then once you're not the captain, it hardly happens that you are the lead in that press conference.
Nobody's asking him to be a lead, but once in a while, if he comes, like after his 100, could come. He has.
That he has done in the
He
past.
has in the
Yeah.
past. But I guess I understand the sentiment. I guess they want to hear more of him, and so that's why.
When was the last time, I forgot, when did he attend a proper
Asia Cup 100 Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Yeah,
That was it.
that was it. Yeah.
No, he didn't come. Retirement announcement, no.
No, no.
He just-
World Cup, he didn't come.
He didn't come.
That was the post-match presentation, T20 World Cup. Yeah.
Rohit was in PC. Correct.
Okay.
Oh yes. Yep.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for your company as always. Another edition of the Dugout comes to an end. We'll take a leave. Tomorrow we'll come with our predictions. If that comment did mean predictions, so we'll try and work on that.
Prediction quality.
Yeah, but plenty more updates. The captain would have spoken by then.
Yes.
So we'll know whether he has announced his 12 or his batting order. We don't know. It's the captain's prerogative. He could do that. So plenty to talk about. It's building up. I know, big gap, but now we're so close. So join us when we build up for the test match tomorrow in the Dugout, and then of course the match coming live. We will be live with you as always. Of course, during important bits during the day, but most importantly at the end of the day's play, we always are going to be there in our post-match show. So look forward to your company then.
Yep.
Please subscribe, as Shivam, our producer, tells us to.
Yes. So from all of us here, it's good night, Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubh Ratri, Shabba Khair, eat your vegetables, don't trouble your mother, stay safe and subscribe to Sports Today. Bye-bye.
Bye.